One second, guys. Everyone see the live chat too. So, okay. First of all, I want to tell y'all my thoughts on the timeline as I now see it. I talked about this before, but bits and pieces of the information keep coming out, and what I appreciate about the information is it is documented. It is uh, backed up with evidence from the film, from a film that was released to the public in a degraded form, altered images, altered colors, when in fact the film exists in its original state, or at least close generations to that original state. Hello, Pam, Tim, Pamela, Stone. Feeling a bit better. It's just a stupid head cold. It just won't leave. But the timeline, as I can see it, the guy Al, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his last name right, but I've already put up a video on it. The Al Hodgins, the story that he tells, and this is all on video. The story that he tells is it's starting with the lumber company having problems with the boogers coming down, and the workers are going off of the job to except for the Native American workers, I think is how it goes. But anyway, they're walking off the job because the boogers are around there, and they are messing with the equipment, messing with the workers and all that. So they got the guy to come in. What's his name? Wallace, Jerry Wallace, maybe. Comes in with the fake footprints and tries to fool them into, haha, it was all a big joke. We're playing on you guys. Well, the workers start seeing these things, and other things are happening, and well, there's a lot I could say about him too, but I'm talking about the comment that was in here just now. But anyway, haha, we're tricking you guys. It's all fake footprints. Look here, I'm doing it. Blah blah blah. That's actually how the term Bigfoot originated, from the tracks being found and faked. But anyway, uh, the wet team is what I'm going to call them. It comes in. Uh, Pretty much the way I understand it's headed up by Renee DeHenden, and comes in with the guys that's down. They're dressed up like they got the uniforms like they work for the timber company or whatever. Renee DeHenden actually worked for the government of Canada. He is a Swiss. He's from Swiss family. I think he actually moved from Switzerland to Canada. Got a job with the forestry department. And what it looks like to me is, if there's a problem and the money is getting held back because of boogers, they send in this team. So the team comes down. All right, they have the tracking dog, all that. Excuse me. And then they say the dog loses the tracks. They go back. They go back to Canada, fly back. Well, Al tells Patterson that what you're looking for is here. There's been fresh tracks. He didn't want to call him in on top of these guys. Well, Patterson starts heading that way. Then Al calls these guys back, tells them, hey, it's back, it's here. They fly back down within 24 hours. Now, I don't know this next part. I don't know if these guys show up first or if Patterson and Gibbons show up first. And whatever happens, be it a massacre or just two cowboys happen to ride up on a Bigfoot that that just acts really odd. But so they arrive at the same time. Now these guys with the tracking attack dog, carrying guns, dressed up in the timber company uniforms. All that happens. Okay, that's all fine and dandy. There's really no way that any of that can be proved. However, what can be proved, what can make you ask questions, is why during the film there is a short shadow. This is my main sticking point. You can go all through this film and there's short shadows. Short shadows, again, short shadows only happen in the summer. The closer to the summer solstice you get, the higher in the sky the sun is above your head, and you get short shadows. It's something you ought to learn in grade school. Short shadows. Here's a picture of MK around in June. Short shadows. Okay, so that's one of the problems I have with the film itself. The other problem is you get a film that's released that's degraded to where it's just a shadow of the film itself. There is there is a good film out there that shows a lot better pictures. It's not degraded like this. The film that they released, colors added into it, into the leaves. And if you go back and you watch the film, pay attention. There was a flood a few years before, and you can see the flood line in the film. All this is dead. Once the trees get flooded with water, it's all dead. And they added color to it. So there's that. However, also tonight there was a video released, I guess, as a rebuttal. Basically, it's what I thought it would be whenever the guy announced that he would do it. It had strictly nothing to do with the evidence. Nothing at all. Nothing on the shadows. Nothing about why there was a degraded film released whenever there was a good film to be put out. Nothing. Absolutely zero. Nothing about it. The guy called MK a armchair researcher, which is just a flat out lie, basically. Um, he called everybody else that believes in this the theory weak-minded and sixth grade. Well, I tell you what is weak-minded and acting like a child, with a sixth grade education, is just to call people names. All right, this guy is all the time attacking people on their looks or the way they talk or anything like that. And it's just a lot of it. A lot of it, it gets pretty disgusting too in his videos. He's been on YouTube for 12 years. I looked it up. Been on there for 12 years. Has 2,700 subs, which is to be honest, that's pretty bad for 12 years. A lot of his stuff is about Star Wars and stuff like that. But I mean, he talks about the obsession that MK has on the film. Well, like it or not, this is the best film that we have of Bigfoot. The best film. And MK has done a marvelous job of breaking this film down and showing it the best versions of it that he possibly can without actually having the original film itself. So, there was just all kinds of stuff in that video. It was, I appreciate the guy trying to make a rebuttal. However, if you're gonna make a video, why don't we talk about the evidence? Talk about the shadows. Talk about the film being released degraded. Talk about this red hole here. Let's talk about this. This isn't the creek. This is a dugout hole with red in it. Now, this ain't the best representation of it. Like I said, it's a degraded film. They try to make it look like it was fall, but it wasn't fall. The shadows were too short to be fall. You can have long shadows any time of the year, but the shadows were too short. There's something down in this hole. What is this exactly? It's hard to tell. Why won't they release the good film? I mean, it's out there. You know, it's supposed to be supposedly locked up in a vault. So why don't they release it? Let's see. The guy also called us brainwashed for believing in these. You know, I'm the stories are fine, okay, and you know, people, you know, you can believe them or you can't believe them. I believe evidence. I believe what I can see, and you know, I can see evidence of this film not being took whenever they claim it was took because of the short shadows. This is not an October the 20th shadow. There's no way. No way that's October 20th shadow. So there's too many inconsistencies in this film. So why lie about it? That's I mean answer me that. Let's start with the shadow question first. Why lie about when the film was took? All right. Why put out the degraded video? Why all the cover-ups? Why do people get threatened? MK has allowed me to share a lot of his Facebook videos, and the only thing he asks is not to let people be rude to Bob. And you know, I don't I don't think that Bob actually took part in the massacre thing. I think that was the whole wet team, and I've never heard MK say that Bob shot at anything. Now Bob did have a gun there, Bob's own words, and this is documented in his own words. In a radio interview, he interrupted Patterson whenever Patterson was asked if hunting season was in down there. And to paraphrase Bob, this might not be exact. He said, "Darn right, anything hairy is apt to be shot." So there you go. I mean, in his own words, he says he pulled his rifle from the saddle. Now he never said he shot anything, nothing like that. So I don't know. I don't actually think that. I think that Bob is being threatened. He totally disassociated himself from the film until Renee DeHinden passed. I think Renee DeHinden was the bad guy, and this is my opinion. This is what I'm getting from all this evidence. I think that Renee DeHinden was the bad guy, that he threatened people. I mean, this is documented too. And you never know what's held over a man's head and what he, you know, could be threatened with, his family threatened with, anything like that. There's several stories about, uh, you know, the men in black, people being threatened for this and that. I've heard stories that I've been told not to repeat just because you know, people don't like to put that out there that they have been threatened. They've been threatened with their livelihood, been threatened that they'll smear their name, you know, lie, just straight up lie about them. It's I don't know, it's something else. I know Bigfoot's real. The guy that did the rebuttal video, for lack of a better term, the guy that did it, uh, don't even believe in Bigfoot, you know, and he thinks we're idiots for believing in Bigfoot. I don't believe in Bigfoot myself. I know Bigfoot's real. I've seen it. Okay, thousands of people have seen it, and we know it's real. We don't believe it now. And I know I've said this a million times, but if I know it's real, a lot of you know it's real because we've seen them with our own eyes. Then you cannot tell me that our government does not know it's real. However, there are some people that are so weak-minded that they won't believe anything unless their government or the mainstream news tells them it's okay. You can believe this. This is what we're telling you now. And that's all. So I don't know. I think people should just be honest. Look at the evidence, okay? And you might not agree with it. You might not agree with the evidence, but at least state the reasons why you don't agree with it. You know, someone said in the live stream that it's dividing the community. Well, number one, this I don't know if y'all noticed, but this community is very divided. Be it apers versus part human, or physical creature versus woo creature. You know, and any segment of our population is going to be divided, and that's just how it is. Asking questions isn't a bad thing, okay? As long as debate's a good thing as long as it's civil and you know don't degrade yourself and don't lower yourself to being an ignorant person by just calling someone names based on their the way they talk or their physical appearance or something like that. Like it or not, we're all in this together, and I think questions are a good thing. So I don't know. What do y'all think? And if some guy wants to call me an idiot, that's fine. He's probably right. However, I'd like to remind the guy that I document everything. So I've got some things that at least I'm not trying to say that my Bigfoot control all the Bigfoot in America, or that I'm mind talking with them, or that there's vortexes and a bunch of silly stuff, or that a bunch of dead trees that fall because of beetle infestations. Uh, because beetles are killing out the trees and trees fall. I mean, imagine going out there and making a structure. Now you're just being a regular human being and making the structure out of telephone poles. That would basically be the same thing as what this guy's trying to claim that boogers are doing. Show us some evidence of it. Show us one doing it, and then maybe I could take you seriously. But whenever you tell me that your Bigfoot control all the Bigfoot, mentally or however they're doing it, then I've got to question that. Whenever you show your friend throwing a rock behind a tree and you claim it's Bigfoot, whenever it's some dude with a white garbage bag or Walmart bag or whatever it is, I'm going to call you out on it. Whenever you in your Facebook group or whatever show a picture of your friend's face that's distorted or took from a far off uh, angle and you claim it's Bigfoot, then yeah, I'm not going to believe that. So call me an idiot, call me whatever. At least I'm not lying to folks, and at least I'm not trying to hoax folks. I'm just trying to get down to the truth of it. Hey, I'm wrong. I'm wrong a lot. But whenever I'm wrong about something and someone can disprove it, then I'll admit that I'm wrong. So go ahead. I mean, if people want to watch somebody that claims their friend throwing a rock and then afterwards say, "Oh, we don't have no memory of that," yet you still got the video up. Why not make a video about, oh, yep, that was my buddy. He was throwing the rock. He wasn't Bigfoot back there shaking a tree and pretending to be Bigfoot. Come on, dude. Come on. Why don't you go through a vortex or something? I don't know what to tell you. There has been a concerted effort to confuse, discredit, and misinform the public ever since the PG film. Yes, yes, sir. I think you're right there, and we've still got the agents like that in here now. We've got people that we're dealing with an unknown critter. Okay, it's supposedly not known to science. I think they know a lot about them. They might not know all about them, but I think they know a lot about them. Yet they won't come out and tell the general public for whatever reason, be it money, religion, whatever. They're not telling the people what they know. So I know it's real. I've seen it with my own two eyes. Many of you've seen it with your own two eyes, so we know it's real. But you got people out there that just want to sling mud and call people names and film their friend throwing rocks, carrying a white a white shopping bag, and then be like, "Oh, we had no memory of that." My Bigfoot control all the Bigfoot in America. Um, One thing I've noticed in this that people with the egos that make it about themselves are the ones that you gotta watch out for. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of disinformation agents out there, and there's a lot of what the kids call shills. And rebuttal video, I'm really starting to wonder if the dude's a shill. I mean, I really am. I've got him on Facebook as a friend, and I've watched some of his videos before, but I, I unsubscribed a while back, and that's, you know, I'd say a lot of people has watched it and unsubscribed because 2.7 subs in 12 years is pretty poor. I mean, let's just be honest about it. Another sighting on East Fork Lake. What's East Fork Lake? I don't know, Matt. Little people, I mean, for a long time I had a problem. Well, first of all, for 37 years of my life, I didn't think Bigfoot was real until things started happening here. 2 years of things happening here, things that I couldn't explain. I still wasn't 100% that it was real. Maybe it's people messing with me or a cat screaming at me with a silly sounding owl in the tree next to it. And, you know, Bigfoot's not real. If it's real, it's somewhere else. It's not here. Then I find tracks. All right. And I'm still not all the way there. It actually took me seeing one. And I still question it after the first time I seen one, if it was real. So I can't rule out Dogman being real or little people being real or whatever. But before I make some kind of claim, I'm going to try my best to have evidence. And if I get anything on film, any kind of picture of anything, I'm going to do my best to go back and show that it wasn't there or it was there. One of my sightings was trying to go back and debunk something. And by accident, I did totally went out my routine. And I think it tricked him. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm just looking for the truth. And, all the stories are fine. But that's all they are without proof. It's just stories. And that's fine. People like stories. That's good. I used to listen to Sasquatch Chronicles and a couple other podcasts. There's a couple I still listen to now, but I haven't listened to the Chronicles or I haven't listened to a few of them in a while. There's a couple that I still listen to, but it's just stories, and it's interesting. But most of the time it's the same old, same old. A lot of times you can tell people are just peeing down your back and telling you it's raining. And that's just how it is. Rebuttal takes attention off the truth. I think it ought to be laid out on the table. I think people ought to honestly talk about the evidence. Okay, people can have different opinions, but let's have an honest conversation about this. Okay, let's talk about why the shadows don't match up. Let's talk about why this is not October the 20th shadow. Let's talk about why there's a trench here with red water in it with what looks like skinned bodies. Why is that? Why is that in the film? Let's talk about why they put out such a degraded film where you can't tell anything about it. Why is that? That's all. Let's ask, what's this all about? I mean, what's going on here? And what is this exactly? Why are we told that they could not bring equipment down here unless it's flown in? Whenever in these pictures it shows a logging truck and a Jeep in the background. Now, Jeep's a heck of an ATV sort of vehicle and can go a lot of places, but a logging truck you have to have a good road. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm just looking for the truth. I'm looking at the evidence, and like for instance, Skibo. And Skibo, I've been looking at your comments and trying to comment back with you and stuff. And Skibo is, you know, he's not buying into the whole theory. As far as I can tell, he's not buying into the theory. I'm not sure if I'm buying into the whole theory, but something is off about the story, and you have to look at it. This is our best evidence. That film is the best visual evidence that we have that Bigfoot's real to the outside world. Now, if you know, or if you've seen them yourself, or you've had things happen to you that can't be explained no other way, then I mean, the film's the best for the outside community. Okay, but there's something not right about the film, and if one thing's off, then you have to question it, and that sucks. That sucks. That's why the feller out in Colorado, if he goes and films 10 foot away from him, it could be the real thing. I've got to question it because I know he's lied about stuff before, and if that makes me a bad guy, then say hello to the bad guy. You know, I mean, I just got to question it. But I guess that's it. Unless anybody's got anything else they want to talk about. All right. Well, I guess not. But only Bob's left that we know about. There was others there. There was up to 12 people there. I mean, that's what I honestly believe. I think there was more than that. But what would it take to sneak up on a family of boogers? What would it take? So let's all keep Bob and let's keep MK in our thoughts and our prayers, and let's just pray that the truth comes out. Let's pray that the original film comes out. That's all I got for tonight. And I mean, it's fine. People can call me idiot. People can point their fingers at the bad guy. But you ain't bothering me none. I'm gonna stay honest to myself. I'm gonna try to look for the truth. And that's it. Say goodnight to the bad guy.